Episode 5 of The Bad Batch came out 2 days ago, and although it felt like another cash mission episode, there's a few underlying details we shouldn't skip over, so let me give you my review and breakdown of Episode 5 of The Bad Batch. Hello AAC Universe, I'm your Star Wars expert Grand Admiral Joey, and let me start this episode by just saying I've decided to switch my standards for The Bad Batch, and let me explain that a little bit. I think in the beginning and going into the series, I was wanting something a little bit more gritty like The Mandalorian with the same amount of intense combat as The Clone Wars, and I was trying to pack all of those standards into a series that's now only 5 episodes in, and I don't think that's possible. So now, from here on out, I'm going to try to look at the story from a different angle. However, my reviews will never change on how incredibly hot the merch is over at animatedapparelcompany.com. We've got everything from Marvel, anime, Star Wars, DC, 90s cartoons, comics, and more. Also, don't forget to use the offer code Joey and get 20% off everything in your cart. Episode 5 of The Bad Batch wasn't as visually stunning as the last episode, but the series is still sprinkling in cameos and references to older material, and I'm still liking that about it. I really like the character Sid, the Trandoshan running the Odd Jobs Dispatch Guild. It's a business similar to like what we've seen Grief Kargas do in The Mandalorian. And the reason I really like this Trando is because most other Trandoshans that we've seen have been pretty much black and white on what the alien race is. For Sid, she seems to be more cunning amongst her species and probably not like every other Trandoshan that we've seen that's just a mean slaver. And for the Jedi to have trusted her with intel during the Clone Wars, I think that might say a lot about her character and the source of her knowledge. Don't get me wrong though, she's still a Trandoshan species known to hunt and scalp Wookiee hides in the event that they're not hunting and enslaving said Wookiees. So the team takes a job from Sid, who we find out is the client of Jabba the Hutt, and also we get to see Bib Fortuna, who's the right-hand man to Jabba, and is the fat dude that Boba ends up killing in the last scene of The Mandalorian. Jabba's a crime lord and gangster in the Outer Rim, and although this time it was just a pet that they were rescuing, we might see the team pushing the lines of what's right and wrong when it comes to doing paid jobs like this. Sid also doesn't fill the team in on that person that they were supposed to snatch, which ended up not being a person and actually a baby Rancor. So what if next time the team unknowingly transports or steals illegal cargo in the Galactic Empire to the wanted crime lord? It'll be interesting to see how the team adapts and tries to adjust to their own morals in the moving galaxy. And speaking of Rancors, my first thought about the baby Rancor that was rescued for Jabba was the same Rancor that was in Return of the Jedi, but after further reviewing, the Rancor that Jabba has is actually named Patissa, and it's a boy, while this is Munchie and she's a girl. I think it would have definitely given a new image to the beast, as I think we probably all grew to love it at the end of the episode as it became more obedient to the team, but it's not the same Rancor. To any regular viewer, the Rancor the Bad Batch rescues is the same Rancor in Return of the Jedi, and I think that's absolutely okay to think that. Back to the team though, we're referenced that something is definitely going wrong with Wrecker's chip that's in his head. Like I've tried to portray before, I think Wrecker's chip is a malfunctioning time bomb, and with the amount of head injuries that this guy is getting, like the bump in the ship from the crash landing, getting slammed in the wall by Finnick, and now beat up by a Rancor, I think that chip is probably going to snap any moment. And I still think this is going to be really sad as well when this happens, as we're seeing him get closer with Omega, and the show is highlighting the bond that they have together. And speaking of Omega, we see her getting more and more adapt to the team and even getting fitted with Crosshair's old comm wrist device. This episode was a fun and thrilling adventure, but I don't think episodes like this are over yet, as we'll probably see the team take on more jobs to get credits as they adapt in the galaxy. But like I mentioned, it'll be interesting to see how they push the lines between what is their morals and what they'll do for a job. And if they don't do a job, especially really important jobs to characters like Sid, they'll have to worry about being turned in, and that's just another problem that they're having to face. There are still 11 episodes remaining. We aren't even halfway through yet, and there is still plenty of plot to be developed. Or at least that's what I keep trying to tell myself. And if you like this review and breakdown, leave a like and subscribe, as I'm reviewing every episode of The Bad Batch and you won't want to miss out on those. Bye!